The Young Turks 14 years.
Given your experience both at Myntra and Flipkart, what are the things that you would not do in your third innings?
I think I'll be a lot more long-term focused. What I've done is to build a really good business, it takes 7, 8, even 10 years. So I'll focus on that. I'll pay a lot of attention to the initial team that we are building. Unlikely, I'll sell the company this time around.
But do you regret having sold out Myntra?
No, I think that was really good for everyone involved. I think our valuation has gone up by like 4 times or more. It's been one of the few examples of M&A which is from by our accounts looks quite successful. Myntra continues to operate as an independent autonomous company. Myntra has also grown more than 3 times in this period. So no, I don't regret it at all. I think it was a great move, and this is probably the associate Myntra and Flipkart put in such a strong position.
Dealing with money, and I think this is a problem that a lot of young entrepreneurs today are faced with, and if they're watching this show, they'd probably like to hear from you. One is of course not having access to cash, and then there's the problem of having too much money, which seems to be the case, at least in the Indian startup ecosystem over the last 2-3 years. What is the advice that you would give them?
I think building a business requires long-term patience. One need to really go about it, doing this systematically. You need to raise capital. It also helps to have some extra money in the bank for if ride out tough times, but not so much that and that you bring in investors start to put a lot of pressure on you, try to scale up faster before either the market is ready or before you are ready. Then start to do all kind of crazy things.
Do you believe that is a reason why we've seen several companies, housing for instance, just as an example, where the degree of scale and the pace of scale has the team hasn't been able to keep pace with that. So do you believe that has been to some extent investor driven?
I would say it's entrepreneurs are equally responsible. I think there's definitely been a number of multiple examples of companies raising a lot more money than that either they needed or they knew how to deploy. And having raised this money, they put that pressure on themselves to start burning their money very quickly and really force the pace by ridiculous discounts and crazy marketing campaigns, etc., without either the product being ready, marketing being ready, or they're able to scale.
The offline guys, the Kishore Biyanis and the Tatas of the world who are in the retail business, in the traditional retail business, say that once this game of discounts is over, then we'll see who's able to stand in this market. Do you believe that the real battle in that sense is going to start then?
No, I don't think that the real battle is going to start at some point in future. It's 7-8 years there was nothing, right? Today the e-commerce market is closer to $30 billion in total valuation. It was not even $1 billion, right? And in next 3-4 years, I'm pretty sure the combined valuation will be over $100 billion. So it's a very real, credible market. It's fundamentally changing how retail is done in India, enabling access, enabling a lot of job creation.
Do you believe that perhaps there's been a disproportionate attention also to the valuation story, both on the part of investors as well as entrepreneurs?
I think more than investor entrepreneurs,
the media.
Absolutely.
I knew that was coming.
I keep wondering why there is so much focus on any movement on valuation one way or other. I think valuation is a byproduct and outcome, but I would focus more on just sheer size that these businesses achieve in such a fast, in such a short time frame.
So as you've been analyzing your competition, which is Amazon, at Flipkart, do you see a significant difference in the way that they operate and the way that they go after market share and so on and so forth? The reason I ask you that question is we've got a lot of these battles sort of playing out, the homegrown player versus the big deep pocket global giant. I mean, it's Flipkart, Amazon, Uber, Ola, for instance. Do you believe that the home advantage is going to be a home advantage really?
I think the home advantage is definitely real. There's no doubt about it. It manifests multiple ways. Understand the market, first mover advantage. Flipkart brand is really strong. Also, the entire Flipkart management team is focused on solving this. This is the only thing we do, right? For a multinational company, this is eventually one geography out of many, right? And not even a main geography. So somewhere at the senior most leadership level, there will be dilution of attention. I think the home advantage, especially for companies who have had 4 or 5 years to build some foundation before they start competing in global players, it's quite credible.
So what has the last 9 years taught you, both at Myntra and Flipkart? What have been the biggest lessons?
In 2007, I had no idea. It will take 9 years, and probably actually if we see to logical conclusion, about 15 years for this business to really stand on their own. But having a long-term focus from day one is probably perhaps can drive a different decision-making process. Second, it's really about people. I think everything else investors, business models, everything will change. The people you work with, the foundation you build, that's super important. I mean,
What do you think has changed? You know, I mean, you've got at Myntra, Anant Narayanan coming in as CEO, for instance, and this
Right.
would have been unheard of even a couple
Yeah.
of years ago.
Right.
People leaving established
Right.
global brands or
Yeah.
global domestic
Right.
brands to move to startups. I mean, you can't
Right.
really call Flipkart or Myntra a startup any
Right.
longer,
Right.
but you get what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What do you think has changed? What's made this so attractive now?
I think it's the most attractive thing going on in India. If you look at from an impact point of view and how many lives you will impact, you are using cutting edge of technology, so learning opportunity, the kind of growth, we've been all growing 70, 80, 100% year over year. So I think most of the people who have joined, Anant at Myntra and number of folks in senior leadership at Flipkart, I think for them the biggest incentive was that they can really create an impact at India level, which is not readily available.
So before I end, let me ask you: is there a name that you have in mind on
No.
what the next venture could be?
No idea. I think,
No idea yet?
Feel free to say something, Shireen.
It'll depend on what you finally decide to do.
Yeah, or it could be anything. Myntra doesn't mean anything, right? So
Yeah.
names can.
Google doesn't mean anything. Yeah, those are the brands that stick the most. How many Bansal brother jokes have you heard so far?
Good things have stopped now. I think
They've
people are
stopped?
used to it. Yeah. I think.
So people have finally reconciled to the idea that they're not brothers.
That, and I think they are seeing all kind of a lot of young entrepreneurs coming in now. The top of the funnel for entrepreneur pipeline is just phenomenally big, and hopefully probably there are not too many Bansals in that. So.
Well, Mukesh Bansal, we wish you the very best of luck. Thank you very much for joining us on Young Turks, and keep us posted on the third innings as and when you do decide to start, whether it's the healthcare venture, which at this point in time seems to be the route that you're likely to take. So we hope to get an update from you then. But appreciate your time here on CNBC TV 18. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this Young Turks exclusive from all of us here. Goodbye. Many thanks for watching.
The Young Turks 14 years